It's Wednesday, June 11th at about 5 p.m. Eastern, and about 6 people just texted me, "Are we going to war with Iran?" So here's where we're at. The U.S. Embassy is preparing to evacuate diplomats and military dependents from Bahrain and Kuwait. Iran also threatened to strike U.S. military bases if negotiations surrounding the Iran nuclear deal continue to break down. The U.S. military base in Qatar is still operating. There have been no evacuations or issues with Qatar. So why now? Why this week when already so much is going on? Why not, I suppose? Well, we've been negotiating the Iranian nuclear deal for several years, and since Donald Trump has been president, about 5 rounds of negotiation have gone forward. And we're talking about a negotiation trying to happen between the narcissist Donald Trump, who thinks he can bully his way into being king of the world, and a bunch of cleric kings who don't always have the interests of the Iranian people front and center of their policies, but rather also seek to enrich themselves, be that with cash or with authoritarian power. So when Donald Trump suggested in the last round of negotiations that the U.S. would control a certain amount of Iran and be able to mine it for uranium enrichment, the Iranian regime flipped out because that's not something that had ever been talked about before. And then Trump started trying to do some bully tactics, saying, "You better sign your deal now or there's going to be big consequences." And Iran took that as a threat. Not to be outdone, Israel then jumped in to threaten Iran, claiming that Iran is funding terrorism in Gaza, and if they don't stop funding resistance fighters, well, then Israel might have to strike Iran. Iran sees Israel and the United States as partners, and so they assume that a threat from Israel is also a threat from the United States. And so now, what they're calling out of an abundance of caution, we are evacuating U.S. diplomats and military dependents from the area. So are we going to war with Iran? God, I hope not. I really do hope not. I really hope that men can regulate their emotions and calmly come to an agreement that benefits everyone. The thing that's really difficult here is the fact that, Central Command is saying, "Oh, we're evacuating Baghdad," and then Baghdad's like, "No, we're not. We didn't get an order to evacuate." So there's a little bit of crossed wires there. I'm not sure what's happening there. And this is made no better by the fact that the right-wing media is using this moment to swirl up fears and paranoia for their audience. Ahead of the military parade happening on Saturday. They need them to feel like the United States is under attack so that when they see military presence in the streets, these people feel safer because the military is in the streets and not what they should actually feel, which is deeply uncomfortable and unsettled. So like everything I'll keep an eye on it. Just add it to the list. So don't freak out. They want you to freak out because when you are in a state of chaos or survival, you are much easier to control and manipulate. Just stay calm, keep your wits about you. We will get through this together.